Very good morning to you all. We're going to start with the failure rate because it's low and it sort of feeds into the robot because the robot has got two conditions for entry. The failure rate needs to be high and there needs to be a sufficient move on the sentiment on the QDB scores. So we can see there's not been much shifting today, which is really interesting. I think yesterday sort of rattled the market participants and we saw huge moves yesterday, and I think they're probably licking their wounds today. And really the largest mover is just AJ at 5%. So in the scheme of things, it's a very small shift. So that's worth noting. And of course, like I say, it feeds into the robot. So I'll show you that now. Because what it does, it checks the failure rate and it needs to be above 70%. Okay, so let's show you the robot. Now this is the second time I've made this video because my VPS, my remote desktop, it got so slow, it got to 100%, and like it's doing now, and I couldn't do the analysis. So, any luck, it doesn't get completely rammed of the memory, and fingers crossed. So it feeds into the robot, like I say, and this is why it hasn't opened up any trade because it needs the failure rate to be high. And if you're keeping an eye on the screenshots I put into Discord, simply just look at the equity and you'll see that increase or decrease, and that'll tell us the success or the failure of the robot. But it should be positive because of the logic behind it. It's using the retail sentiment for contrarian data, and it's also checking the failure rate as well. So it won't open if the herd are getting paid. It will only open if they're getting punished. All right, so it's quite clever. So there's the two requirements for entry, and it hasn't satisfied the failure rate check, and that's why it hasn't opened up any trades. And so that's the robot. I want to show you the indices and gold. And basically, I was suggesting that they might go long, and we really did. They did go long. Yesterday, if you saw yesterday's video, and I was struggling to draw a box, and this is why I had to stop the video because it wouldn't even allow me to draw a box, which is really horrible. And God, right, it's a bit silly, isn't it? And it might be the Google Chrome. It's got no idea what's going on there. Google Chrome is eating a ton of resources, but it shouldn't be. It's only using AppScript, which is using the MyFXBook API, and that feeds into our spreadsheet. So it's not normally that data heavy. You can see how my my desktop is really lagging, but I won't have to draw any boxes because I've already drawn them already. Because this is the second take of the video, but because I've got a short bias on this, I don't really want them to be selling. I want them to be buying, but I'm up quite a bit on profits, so hopefully you guys were as well. Some very good, I don't need to be arrogant or anything like that, but some very good quality, high quality analysis went into Discord. So hopefully you saw that, and we made quite a bit of bucks on this move. And we only we triggered it, the entry based on the stop loss cluster, and then we took profit at the stop loss cluster. So we got the entry and the exit, and they're absolutely 100% perfect. So it tells us that the stop loss clusters are the way to go for gold. So we need to check the SLC below for gold. On the SLC video, that will be for private members only. So that's gold. Ideally, they don't sell it, right? We want them to be buying if you've got a short bias. Indices are looking heavy, and I've drawn these boxes already, so that's quite handy. So yeah, I've created a supply, and so we fell, and they've gone long. So therefore, that's why we're falling. We had a bit of a respect of that box. Can you see? So I went out just to test it. And I went, nope, and down it comes because it knew that they were going long, and so that's why we're falling. And I'm going to investigate my remote desktop today, I think, because I need it to be a lot quicker if I'm going to be making these videos. And they've gone long on the on the DAX, sorry. So we create a box here, and we didn't get a retest of it, which is fine, but we're falling anyway, and that'll be normal because they went long. And then we get the the Fitch downgrade as well, and that really didn't help at all. The US economy, their debt status was reduced from what was it, AAA to AA. So it had a reduction there on the from Fitch, a downgrade. So that's the S&P downward coming. A little bit sideways, but if they go long, then it's going to come down even more. 4,500 is obviously going to be a big key psychological level, so keep an eye there. And I was just saying, Discord, don't open any trades on indices. Wait for the flash and wait for NFP. US 30. And yeah, so day before we go to the box. So we see the box, had a test of it, and it's like, nope, we've fallen. And why are we falling? There. And they're going long, or should I say less short. So that's just a quick one there. The robot's going fine. Quite happy with it. Keep an eye on the equity, and it should be increasing over time. And I'll do an SLC video now so we can see the stop loss clusters for cross yen, and we can look at gold and maybe look at pound as well, because we've got the BOE as well. So that'll be maybe a 5-6 minute video there, and that'll be exclusive for Discord only, Patreon only, sorry. And I'll speak to you guys soon.